What's going on, guys? It's your man, Stephen Barlow, coming back at you. I got a special guest today. This is someone that I've been following for years, and they are OGs, not old in terms of old in age, but they are OGs in terms of the travel game. I'm talking about the Yarbros, Apryl and Rondel, and I'm so pleased to be joined by Rondel Yarborough today. How you doing, Rondel?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Glad to be here. Nice intro. Appreciate that. OGs of travel. I like it.
Oh no, it's the truth, man. I think we were talking offline. I've been following you guys for quite a while, and you were one of the first couples that I started looking at and
Okay.
making it real that I could leave the United States and actually live a fulfilled life. I think I
Facts.
think I think I read where you and April got married in 2016, and then you started your journey on 2017. Can you take us through that a little
Bruh.
bit?
Yeah, man. So we dated long distance. My wife, I'm from Detroit, was went to school in Kalamazoo, stayed there. Met my wife at a work conference in New Orleans, hit it off, and we would just fly back and forth to see each other. But we would escape out the country all the time, like at least twice a year. And I ain't gonna lie, man, it just got old. I land in Michigan, I land in Chicago, catch a train from Chicago in the dead of winter,
Yep.
get to Kalamazoo, get in my cold car. It was depressing. Every time we came back to the States, it was depressing. I was like, man, why am I working so hard to not live a happy life? So
Right. Right.
we did that for a while, and we just kept improving ourselves and increasing our skill set. And we said, hey, we're gonna get married. We want to leave the country, and we knew that the easiest thing to do would be to teach English someplace. So we got our teaching certificates. We both graduated college, but we got our little teaching certificates. Got a job, and once you got that teacher certificate, the whole world opens up. China, Asia opens up.
Yep.
China, what we looked at? Taiwan, South Korea, Japan, and settled on a place well known now, but it wasn't well known then, called Wuhan in China. So that was our
Mm.
first time living
Wow.
out of the country, was into China. Yeah. That
Wow.
was an experience.
Yeah, talk about that a little bit, because I'm
Okay.
sure there was some. I'm sure traveling for Black Americans and Black people in general is much easier now than it was then. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So first off, like, we had this brilliant ass idea that we're gonna go live in the middle of China and everything was gonna be just hunky dory, all right. And it was not. Like the what do you call that, cultural shocks were real. Like the squatty potties, ain't no toilet seats or nothing else. The squatty potties. Nobody really speaks English, but since we were teaching English to college students, they helped us kind of learn the language and get around and whatnot. But
Mm.
it was the culture shock of moving out of the country was very large in China. It's like everything was backward. They don't drink cold water. If they play some basketball, they drink hot water. There are hot water stands everywhere. It was
Mm.
upside down world for a minute. And we really, I gotta say, our first, like, we had been going in and out the country, all up in Europe. When you got the job, so you got the nice Airbnbs and everything, rent cars everywhere you go. Well, this time, this was our life, so we weren't trying to spend a lot of money on things. And we had a free apartment from the university. They gave us a free apartment, but man, it was ghetto. I got no other words. It was just really, really, really ghetto. And I worked hard in my life to not live in the ghetto. You know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
anyway, we completed our contract, and then we moved to where we are right now, which was Thailand. We moved to Thailand, and like in China, there's all this smog and all this. I don't know. It's a different environment, but it's a kind of dirty environment. At least where we were at, at
Okay.
university. So we going up to the in the sky, and we break through the clouds, and it's this bright sunshine. I was like, oh baby, this is it. And I had this moment when we talk to people. They say you get this exhaling moment when you travel, and I hadn't had that exhale moment yet. But we landed in Thailand in a little place called Chiang Mai, and I was
Mm.
on the balcony, and early one morning, listened to the birds sing, and I just exhaled. I was like, damn, this is it. This is it. I ain't never going back. I ain't never going back. Like, there was just an absolute peace, man. I didn't have to worry about anything. I didn't have to worry about anything. No police, no bills. Had money in the pocket. Like, it was just a very comfortable, peaceable environment that had eluded me in the States. It really eluded me. I tried hard to get that peace, but it was never there.
And so,
About
fellas, as we're listening to Rondell explain he and April's scenarios overseas, I think you're starting to understand that when they started out moving around and doing things, it was a way different world. It wasn't
Oh
as
yeah.
connected. There wasn't as many conveniences. I don't have to change my banking situation while I'm here in Playa
Mm-hmm.
del Carmen. It may be different if I went to Asia. But what
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you guys is that Apryl and Rondel, they got it started when it was a lot more difficult. So I want you to really listen to what Rondel is sharing with us to give you guys not only motivation, but to understand, break some mental barriers that this can be done. They started in Wuhan, China, guys. And he's breaking it down nicely. He's not trying to throw salt on the situation, but
Bruh.
that started a journey that has brought you all here today. Um, so now I'm jumping around a little bit because I want to make sure I get to everything that you guys are doing. It sounds like now you guys have transitioned a little bit to being travel coaches and helping other people do what they're trying to do in terms of overseas. Can you talk about how that process has been for you guys?
So we were travel coaches for a while now. Now I'm kind of getting to the videographer side of things. I'm trying to do independent films now. That's what I'm trying to
Oh,
work
okay,
on.
okay.
But yeah, man, we help whoever needs help, because like the goal is to get the brothers out of America. Like I think it's toxic. I think it's poisonous, and it's doable. Like if you can break through the wall, if you could just go check it out, put your toe in the water, you will it'll turn you out. I'm telling you, it's different. I'm trying to get my son to come out here right now because I think he will love Thailand. There's so many different flavors when you're out and about, so many different things to experience, different countries, different languages, different people. And I tell you what, when I first went to school in America, I'm from Detroit and I went to Texas, and they had these sayings in Texas like, "Hey, what up, fool? What up, fool?" And it's a term of endearment that black people do. What up, fool? And I came back to the city. First off, talking to people that don't know, and you don't do that in Detroit. You don't say hi to people in Detroit. I was like, "Hey, what's up, fool? Why I almost get jumped? Why did I almost get jumped?" I was like, "Oh, that's right.
That's
That's
hilarious.
the juxtaposition of living international and going back to the States. You had to, when I go back home to visit my family and everything else, I got to remember, oh, I got to watch my back. Oh, I got to look for the police behind me. Oh, you got to put on this whole armor just to go into a place that doesn't make sense internationally." So China was different. China, everybody want to take a piss. You like for the part in China that we were in, we were like a fish in a bowl. People just want to look at you. They want to touch you.
Yeah.
Like, are you real? Are you real? Everywhere else, we got to Thailand. People just want to take pictures of us because they revere us. It's like Black Americans is something to aspire to. We're cool. You know what I'm saying? We were most places we go, we were celebrated, including in Europe, including in Paris. Like we were celebrated, our culture, who we are, and of course, we left in 2017 when he who should not be mentioned first got elected. I was like, oh yeah, we out of here, baby, we gone.
Yeah.
So everybody want to talk about him while we're out and about, but for the most part, we were well received everywhere we go, everywhere we've been, should I say.
So, Rondell, I love that point you just brought up. As Black men, a lot of times we don't feel the respect that we feel like we deserve back
Mm-hmm.
home, and um, that's part of the thing that I try to hit home the most to our group. We've got about 69 brothers in this group, in this Facebook group.
All right.
They're have done well in their careers. Some have families, some are single like me. But I can't emphasize enough to them what it feels like to walk around in a place where you can tell either we've been here before,
Mm-hmm.
because they don't even trip on you seeing you. They
Mm-hmm.
just you just a part of the environment, and the
Yep.
respect that you receive if I'm starting to learn Spanish, and I know a little bit.
Hey.
It changed the whole game in terms
Yep.
of respect. Can you
Yep.
speak to that a little bit about being a Black man in these different parts of the world and feeling the energy and the respect from other people?
I tell you what, man, we're in Colombia, a place called Medellin in Colombia. And when you're from the States, you always get the head nod when you pass a brother and everything else. So I, head nod a brother. He ain't do that. I was like, hey, what's up with you, bro? You know what I'm saying? So hey, what's what I say? Something this man, hola, something, me llama Rondel, whatever. And he just started smiling. He spoke English, and he's like, oh, we just don't do that around here. We just got to talking, and it was like a family connection just on the street. We went to I can't think of it. It's a famous little neighborhood, supposed to be super hood, super ghetto. But we're going through there, and the tour guide is like, "Hey, stay with me. Don't go anywhere, man. Please." I ended up on the basketball court, sitting with a bunch of young brothers, just kicking it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
it was a warm reception in most places. Not to mention the cost of living. Even if you got yourself together and you're comfortable, it's cool. But there's a level of luxury you could be hitting, man. Like this notion when I was younger that we would travel, like, well, you want to be with the people. They got upper class and middle class people everywhere you go. Like everybody got people of different ranks and everything else. So Colombia was a place we were able to live like really well off of very little bit. I think like $1,200 a month. We had a nice apartment, nice condo. It was just super, super comfortable, huge balcony, right? Just the life that awaits you outside of the States is something that you can imagine it, but whatever you imagine is going to be some other problems too. I ain't here to tell you like it's all going to be peaches and cream. We coached a lot of people, and some people were not ready to make that leap. If you are prepared, learn a little bit of the language. Get you a little Ola in your life. You know what I'm saying? Learn just some of the language, and you will gain a level of respect. Like my man said, that you can't even imagine, just because you're trying to learn their language, and they understand like English is the dominant language of the planet. And like, oh, so you're taking time to learn my stuff? Oh, brother, come on, you coming to the barbecue?
See,
our goal when we travel is to get to somebody's house, to get invited out to somewhere, so we can understand the culture. We really just want to absorb the culture when we travel.
Oh, I love that. So is that something that you and Apryl, did it kind of morph into that, or is that something that you were intentional from day one on this journey? In terms of wanting to get into people's houses and really get into the culture to understand it.
I think that's been us. But like when we would go off to the Europes, to the Frances and Spain, all these other different places, it just got you kind of just turn into a tourist. You know what I'm saying? You want to go see the sights. I want to see the Eiffel Tower. I want to go to this building or that building. But when we started traveling full time, that turned into a thing. Actually, in China, hanging out with our students and everything else. Like, look, we know this can't be the real China. Show me the real China, and to get an understanding. So yeah. It started in China, and it just continued because, it's two different kinds of travelers, or probably three different kinds of travelers. It's the travelers who like to go to the resort and just hang out at the resort all day. It's the travelers that just like to hang out with each other all day. And we've been both. Well, we ain't did the resort thing that much, but the most fulfillment I get is when I connect with the people, though. We're actually thinking about starting a YouTube channel called We Everywhere, because everywhere we go, we seem to meet Black people, except in Asia. But yeah, we ran into down in Ecuador. We ran into a large Black families, and it was really cool to come back and break bread with them and have conversations and get over that language barrier with our little translator. If you don't speak the language, don't be intimidated. They got the translator apps work well. When we first started, they didn't work that well, but now they work like butter. So yeah.
Okay. All right. So let me get into a couple of questions here. What's the biggest problem or issue that Black Americans face when deciding to live abroad that you found?
Culture shock. A lot of people are ready. A lot of places. Last time we were in Guadalajara, actually, you could flush the toilet tissue in a lot of places, but originally you could not. So you wrapping up your toilet tissue, like, that's a deal breaker. I can't do that. I don't know. Okay, I hear you. Do your thing, but it's amazing what you can get comfortable with. You know what I'm saying? It's amazing what you can get comfortable with.
That's right.
What else? Being marveled at, because that does happen a lot. I will say that, like, here in Thailand, nobody pays us any attention. You can tell like there's a military base over here or something, because we're like nothing. Nobody breaks their neck or anything else. But other places, people really break their neck, especially if you open your mouth and they hear that English come out. So getting used to or accustomed to people like want to have a conversation with you. That happens a lot. People want to take pictures with you. What's actually pretty interesting? The lack of intimidation. I don't get no alone on the elevator, the other person going to the other side of the elevator, kind of shrinking away from you thing. That does not happen. That doesn't happen at all. Most interesting parts. People, what do they want? I think the biggest thing, though, is the culture shock. The foods, learning how to order food, there are cultural things like in Brazil, their body space is a problem for me. Like, you know, in America, you need to have at least 6 inches between you and the person you're with. Brazil, they like up on you, like, bro, like give me some room. That may be like the biggest thing, because, you know, America's so huge and spread out. People are used to their space, and other places are not like that. And they'll be right next to you. You think, man, you try to steal something from me or something? So I actually got into it in China like that, because I'm standing in line. This person's like, I can feel them breathing on me. I'm like, excuse me, brother, you know, and it was a little issue, you know. So yeah.
Sure. Let me ask you this: what are the 3 countries you think Black Americans should consider when they're first making that move abroad?
Well, Mexico is kind of a no-brainer because of its convenience. But if cost is an issue for you, Mexico is starting to get up there in regards to international countries. It's still relatively inexpensive compared to America, but there are much better choices out there. I think people should look at Panama. I think Panama is really cool. There's lots to explore in Panama, especially if you get you a car while you're there. One of our new favorite spots is Cape Town, South Africa. I heard a lot of negative things about it, and then when I got there, I was like, what the hell? This is it. Oh my gosh. Now, there are ghettos around the world, you know, favelas, what is it called in South Africa? Townships, favelas, ghettos, everywhere you go. But the people, like, you talk about a family vibe, man. Like, as we got off the plane, we're greeted, and that continued. We're greeted like we're family, and that continued the entire time that we were there. It was just a friendly vibe. Everybody I walked to, everybody I talked to was just a warm vibe. Another place I gotta say, so Thailand does have Black communities for expats. They have large expat communities here, but I freaking love Thailand, man. It's so laid back. Nobody really trips that you're Black. You know what I'm saying? It's affordable. The food is really good. I love it. I really love it. So I think if you have not been to Thailand, take a trip. Check out some Phuket. Check out some Chiang Mai. Check out some Bangkok. And they have all these islands. They have all these different, a big city, a small city, all these different variations of you to check out. And if you're anything like me and you need medical things done, like I had to get a tooth taken care of, I had to get all kinds of things done. I got to get my post 50 checkup. $120 here in Thailand. I had all this dental work done. It was going to cost me upwards of $10,000 in the States, and I got it done here for $1,500. So, you know,
wow,
yeah,
okay.
Medical tourism is the real deal. So,
no, I've heard that, and you know, you were speaking of cost, Rondel, the different costs. I try to explain, like, I think right now it's 19 Mexican pesos to the US dollar. I know that in Dominican Republic it's 56 Dominican pesos to a US dollar. I know that Thailand is very, very affordable. Is it in that range? Do you know what the baht is to the US dollar?
34 right now.
34
baht to the dollar. Yeah, man. I get 2 pounds of chicken wings for $3. 2 pounds of chicken wings for $3.
2 pounds?
2 pounds. You know, when I go to the grocery store, I get my chicken breast is 150 is $5 for 2 pounds of chicken breast. So yeah, and the freshness, the freshness of the food. So I'm actually I'm flirting heavy with being a vegetarian, and the freshness and the availability of all the produce. Oh my God, man, it's off the chain. It's really, if you're from the States, you really don't know the level of fresh produce and goods that you are missing out on, because, you know, such a limited variety. And I think most of our stuff we import.
Right.
So,
right.
You know,
yeah,
man.
Okay. And as we're wrapping up a little bit, guys, we're listening to Rondel Yarbros. He is one half of the Yarbros, a very talented and very successful Black travel couple, and they've been doing it. They're one of the first that, in my knowledge, that I followed. I've been following them for years. So we're very pleased to have them on. And one of the last things I want to ask you, which countries have you enjoyed the most and why? And then which countries were the most challenging for you?
Well, you know what? I can answer that with one shot. Brazil was a lot of fun, and it was a lot of fun because it was huge. Brazil is gigantic. And we started off in a city. Sao Paulo, and we didn't know anything about the city. This happens when you travel. We just picked what we thought was a nice hotel, but it ended up being on the worst side of town. Oh my God, we had crackheads outside the door, heroin addicts outside the door,
Oh wow.
people taking dumps on the street. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, what the hell? But we didn't leave. We moved. We stayed. We moved to another spot, and Brazil ended up being one of our favorite places. We're actually thinking about getting a residency there. It is vast, and the people are just so damn friendly. It is that was the first stop on the slave ships, right? So that has a larger proportion of black people than America. The largest black people outside of Africa, largest black city outside of Africa is starts with the S. Salvador
Bahia.
Bahia.
Yeah.
My heart is there, man. Love it. I wouldn't stay in the city. There's I can't think of the name of the city, but it's up the coast, like 2 cities away from Salvador, off the beach. That's where I would stay. But above and beyond that, the places, it's what America was in the 80s. So black people, there's still a struggle. There's a struggle I'll be lying to you if I told you that there was no struggle in Brazil. But the black people, they're standing up, they're marching, they are active. They are very active. And we went to, I can't remember if it was the northern section or it was the southern section. And like black people, they kind of don't travel there for whatever reason. I'm like, oh, I'm checking it out. I want to see this whole country. Loved it. Oh my God, I loved it. I would go to a place called Gramado, Canela. It's just a whole different experience, man. Their barbecue, their vibe, their family life, and everything is family orientated, family based. It's just a really good time. I mean, we were hard pressed. I don't think we had any issues there. The food was good. The drink was cheap. The people running into people and having conversations with people on a regular basis. Butter. Now, the biggest part was learning some Portuguese, learning sim. I can't remember any, but when we got there, we would study day and night and day. For any of those who want to know, you can learn another language at your old age. Yes, you can. It takes about 80 hours of practice before you're fluent. So just start putting your time in. And get a friend.
Hold on, Rondel. I want to highlight that because that's very important what you just said. Tell that statistic again, because I failed to remember, as you just said, that it used to teach a language. Say that again, please.
It takes about 80 hours to learn a language, to learn a new language. And now if you can get that 80 hours actually talking to somebody, meet a friend or somebody else like that, lots of places have language exchanges. I know Mexico was right with that, libraries and different places where you can have talk to people who want to learn English. But there are several different apps that you can use and stuff like that too. Just get your hours in. If you do it like it's a job, you will get there. So in Brazil, Portuguese was so challenging because my wife and I both speak Spanish, and Portuguese is something like Spanish, but it ain't Spanish. And it was, bruh, that was a hard way to go. So I think we were there for 4 or 5 months. 4 or 5 months about. And the first couple of months, bruh, we were on the struggle bus. But after that, it was vibrant. It was very vibrant.
See, and I kind of stress to the fellas that, don't be the cat that comes down to another country and expect it to be what it was back in Chicago. Stay your black behind in Chicago. Learn the language, respect the culture, and it will give you back tenfold what you put into it. That's been my experience. Is that accurate?
It is. There's a place. Oh God, the city is escaping me, in Ecuador, called Cuenca. And like when Obama got elected, all the white people got up. I'm getting the hell out of this country. I'm on it. And a lot of them moved down there. And they created a place called Gringolandia. Gringo means a white person, like in Spanish down there. So they created a place called Gringolandia, where everybody speaks English. All the people, I don't want to call them service, but people who are looking for like maids and butlers and all kind of stuff, they go there to get work. And it's just a little America. And
right, exactly. Exactly.
You're missing out on the culture, man. What's that shrimp dish? They have so many good dishes down there, and you're missing out on all of it because you want to have your meatloaf and fried chicken, So
sure.
Learn the language, and it will open up a whole new world to you, man. It's like you're going for you learn, you get your scuba license and you go diving underwater. It's a whole nother world. It's a whole world out here waiting for you. Entire world.
Well, guys, if you want to support the Yarbros, one way you could do it is buymeacoffee.com/the Yarbros,
Yes, and please.
Yarbros. And I want you to consider supporting April and Rondel, because I'm telling you guys, I need to be paying them a lot of money because I've
Stop it.
watched a lot of their content. They have broken paradigms in my mind, in my head, and it's really refreshing. And I look forward to each and every piece of new content that they put out, because as you now can tell, since you've been listening to Rondell, you can tell that they're vibrant, they're real, they're just like us. They rock their natural hair. You
You
heard
know it.
Rondell's considering veganism. This is
Yep.
what African people do, guys. This is
Yep.
what we do. And so,
And remember, we're
um,
world travelers, y'all. We from Africa. That's what we everywhere. This our seas are everywhere. So don't be scared, man. This a big world. It's a beautiful world, and it's if you don't feel comfortable where you are, I promise you, there's a place out here that you will be comfortable in. Sincerely.
and then lastly, what are some of the bigger challenges of you're living with your wife, you're traveling with your wife, you're working with your wife. How has that gone? How have you and April been able to maintain such a loving? Because you all, when I see your content, it's obvious you all love each other deeply.
Mm-hmm.
It shows through the camera. How have
The
you all been
magic,
able to maintain that?
2 bathrooms. The magic to a happy life is 2 bathrooms. That's
Oh
it.
my
His and
goodness.
hers. Every time we get an apartment, that's the issue. You know what I'm saying? For real.
That's funny.
But no, man, just knowing the ebbs and flows. This marriage, man. Knowing her ebbs and flows. Those first few years was rough. Getting over the ego. Once you get past the ego, it's easy street. It's easy street, honestly.
Okay, black men who are married, listen to what he's saying. An extra bathroom and get past that ego. It's two key points there. Rondell,
Facts.
as we close, is there anything else that you want to share? I'm trying to put up some of your stuff here.
Let me see, man. God first. That's the other thing. We lead with God first out here. That's how I got navigated into this whole lane of trying to do independent films. We do have a Patreon too, Patreon.com/the Yarbros. If you want to follow us there, we meet up every month and we just talk travel things. Well, lately we've been talking about what's going on in the States in our little group. What else? I would say a hobby. You know what I'm saying? Like I lost myself in my work, and now I'm starting to pick the paintbrush back up again, and just enjoying life intentionally, not as a byproduct, but enjoying your time on purpose. That's all I'm saying. When you get out 100 years, 110 years, if you're good, enjoy them. That's all. I'm not trying to deal with any drama. I'm not trying to deal with any stress. I'm just trying to enjoy and get the most out of my life. And I hope you're doing the same.
Well, I don't think there's any better way to finish this interview than that. Rondell of the Yarbros, April and Rondell Yarborough. Please go and check them out. Let me put their YouTube handle back up. At the Yarbros on YouTube. Fantastic content, Rondell. Thank you so much for joining us today here with
Thank you,
Next
brother.
Chapter Forward.